Well, hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Kenobi's bunker. We're here. Thank you for joining me on the high ground. What are we gonna talk about today? Thankfully, there's this little show coming out each week, and it's called something similar to the name of this channel. The name escapes me right now, but it's been pretty good, if I do say so myself. And if you haven't checked it out, I think you really should. It's over on Disney Plus, so of course we're talking about Kenobi. Um, just as a reminder, we are not discussing the episode that dropped today. Um, yes, I just saw it, but it's too soon, right? It only dropped a few hours ago, so I feel it's kind of not fair to everybody to be discussing those so immediately. But we will be talking about episode 3. Um, hey, Jose, how you doing, Josue? Sorry. Congratulations, by the way. I have your Boba Fett, so we'll try to get that out to you as soon as possible. Um, Again, we are gonna be talking a little bit about episode 3, and um, some of the stuff that happened then. Again, episode 3 dropped last week, so I think it's pretty safe to say that statute of limitations on spoiler has now passed. Hey, Darth Angel, thank you for joining me, man. Thanks for tuning in. Um, yes, I already saw episode 4. I saw it about an hour ago. Uh, yeah, it's got some really good stuff that I really enjoy, and some cringe stuff, nitpicking maybe, but yeah, there's something with the editing. I think I can't quite put my finger on it, but some of the scenes that should look really awesome just don't for some reason. Um, but anyway, I we can talk about that, when we discuss episode 4. Um, yeah, I hear you, man. It's kind of hard not to talk about episode 4 since I just saw it, but again, it's not fair because not everybody has seen it. It just dropped a few hours ago, so yeah, we'll stick to episode 3 on this one. Um, hey, yeah, it totally is. Yeah, they did some stuff I was not expecting them to. But again, some of the stuff, some of the scenes, really, not so much the story, just some of the scenes visually. There's something just a little bit off about it. So we can just go ahead and basically dive right into it. Uh, there are a couple of things that I wanted to say. Hey, honey, love you. Uh, Regarding past episodes, since we didn't do a live stream because I was at Celebration, yeah, I still have post Celebration blues. It's hard. They're gonna last for at least another month or so. So just be warned. Speaking of Celebration, today I dropped my Celebration video on the channel. So if you would be so kind as to go check it out, it's a pretty good one. I had to leave a lot of stuff out because if not, we would end up with like an hour video. As it is, it's like 26 minutes, so bear with me, but it's got some good stuff in there, so I hope you enjoy it. Um, okay, so some of the stuff that I wanted to discuss on previous episodes of Kenobi, and let me just show you real quick. So one thing is, people have asked this scene. If you don't remember from episode 2, you see this clone trooper begging for money, right? Um, and people are saying, well, first of all, is that Captain Rex? No, that is not Captain Rex. That is, however, by the colors, seems like a member of the 501st, right? The unit under Anakin Skywalker. And we can tell that because of the colors of the armor and the shape of the bars. But that doesn't mean that that's Captain Rex, right? I really don't think that's him. Why? Because the armor is different. He doesn't have his pauldron. His shoulders were a little bit different. So no, I don't believe that's Captain Rex. I do think it's a clone from the 501st, and if so, people ask, well, how come he didn't recognize Kenobi right there on the spot? Well, remember, the 501st were still a big unit, so that doesn't mean that everybody got to interact with Anakin or with Obi-Wan. And also, if you saw the episode, this dude was just drunk, right? Or high, or both. So he's not necessarily like, in top shape to remember Kenobi just by looking at him. So yeah, I totally agree, man. Episode 3 had some. It actually had more than I thought it did, and we're gonna discuss that coming right up. There's a few like key information in there. So the other thing that I saw in the credits, but now people really confirmed it, is this little guy. If you remember from the episode, we had Hedja, the fake Jedi, trying to help out a family, right? And he gets them papers, and he tells them, he tells the mom, your child is very special. You have to protect him because he is force sensitive, basically. Now, here's the thing. The kid, the child in the scene, is listed as, in the credits, is listed as Corran. Now, I immediately thought of Corran Horn, but I was like, there's no way. But ever since, people have come up and say, yeah, that's him. It matches up. His age, sort of the way he looks. The fact that they're going to the Corellia system. All of that matches up with the Legends Corran Horn. And if you don't know who Corran Horn is, don't feel bad. He wasn't he wasn't in the movies. He was part of what is now known as Legends, or the Expanded Universe, as it was known back then. And basically, he was a pilot first, and a really good one, who joined Rogue Squadron. Now, Rogue Squadron was something different back then. This was post Return of the Jedi, basically when the New Republic was being formed. Now, he was, like I said, he was a really good pilot, and then it was discovered that his father was a Jedi, and that Corran Horn also had the Force. So he went from being a pilot to being into Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy, or the Praxium, as it was called back then. So that's who Corran Horn is in the books and in the comic books. There's no guarantee that this little guy is that version of Corran, right? But I thought it was really, really cool that they're at least pulling names from the Expanded Universe. So I'm very hopeful that, that's more than just an Easter egg. Since, if you remember, there is a movie called Rogue Squadron in the works, right? By the director of Wonder Woman. I forgot her name right now. And so there is the possibility that we will see at least a sort of, similar character in the movie. Now, I might be, grasping at straws here, but I think that it's still a possibility for sure. So I just think, again, that it's awesome that they're actually, integrating that kind of thing onto the show. Now, let's go on to episode 3 of Kenobi. So, let me start off by saying that I really, really enjoyed it, okay? As you can see, and again, guys, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, but we're gonna be talking Kenobi episode 3 with plenty of spoilers. It came out a week ago, so I'm hoping that everybody saw it at this point, and if not, I'm sorry, but spoilers. So yes, exactly, that's what I'm hoping for, man, because there's some really good stories in there that deserve to be part of the mainstream canon, or the mainstream show. So I'm really hoping so. Okay, so episode 3. In a nutshell, um, after that fake Jedi helps Obi-Wan and Leia escape, they end up in a planet called Mapuzo, and it's a mining planet, very rural, very desert-like, and so they're trying to find out their contact so they can get him off planet, etc. Obi-Wan has this vision about Anakin, now that he knows he's alive, and he sees him in a hill, but he sees him as Anakin from episode 3, right? Because that's how he left him, right? That he doesn't know what he has changed into. Um, and then they go into town and they get help and etc etc. But that's not the most important part. The most important part is that Darth Vader shows up, right? For the first time in the show, we see Hayden Christensen in the suit, and we hear James Earl Jones, which I think is amazing that they actually pulled it off, because James Earl Jones is about 90, I think, at this point, or very close to it. So just the fact that he's still able to do it is awesome to me. Um, and so we basically end up with the fight scene, and I enjoyed it. I see why it was the way it is, but a lot of people are complaining that uh, basically Obi-Wan just could not do anything, right? He sucked at the fight. Um, that Vader was slow, and that Obi-Wan was even slower, which made no sense to people. Now, to me, it makes perfect sense, just because remember, it's been 10 years since he was at his peak, right? And in those last 10 years, he hasn't practiced. He's been disconnected from the Force, right? And so he's just been withering away. He's tired, malnourished. He's got PTSD, which for a Jedi, I don't know what that means, but can't be anything good. I love the fact that he keeps calling out to his master, to Qui-Gon Jinn, and there's like no answer, right? Um, exactly. So it's like a muscle, right? If you don't work out, you start losing it. So that's more or less what's going on here. And again, just the PTSD that he's dealing with. Uh, so I get it. I actually really like the way they handled the fight. It made sense to me. It wasn't flashy, no, but visually it was very nice. It was very stunning. Um, and I thought that they did a good job, with handling like the fear of him running away from Darth Vader, because he knew exactly who he was and what he had done to him. Um, and yes, exactly. So that's what I meant. Ewan's portrayal of Obi-Wan has been the highlight for me. I knew he was a good actor, but now see him, portray Obi-Wan again, in these conditions, right? In this part of the story, or at this stage, in the character's life, man, it just, yeah, he's brilliant. He's doing an amazing job, and I think he's carrying this series for sure. Um, and so the fight happens, um, and of course he loses, right? Obi-Wan loses very miserably. He gets basically pushed around. He gets lifted. He loses his lightsaber. Vader throws him into the fire, burns him, and then pushes him away. Um, and again, people were complaining, like, why would he push him away? Why wouldn't he just let him burn? It's Vader, okay? He's been hating on him for a decade. He's not gonna wanna let it end too soon, right? He wants to savor that. He wants to play mind games with him. He wants to torture him, right? He wants to completely break him before he physically breaks him. Now he knows that he can physically break him at any point that he wants, right? So for Vader, there is no incentive or advantage to destroying him. He won't be satisfied just with that. Uh, exactly. Yes, he wants Obi-Wan to suffer like Vader has been suffering, right, for the last 10 years. So, and of course he blames Obi-Wan. Exactly, yes, that line. So Obi-Wan asks Darth Vader, "What have you become?" And Darth Vader replies, "I've become what you made me." Right, and again, it falls onto, it's both a play of course, master and apprentice and how it all went wrong. Um, and I know Vader also means, what you physically made me. Look how you left me to die. And he tells him, "You should have killed me, right? You should have killed me when you had the chance, but you didn't." So that interaction was really good. I think they handled it well. I enjoyed it, and but again, people are, they're not satisfied that they didn't see them twirling around and force jumping and having an incredible duel like lightsaber fight like they did in episode 3. And again, that's just not, it's not appropriate. It's just not the case here. um, and so I think they did it right. I think it makes sense to me. And again, guys, this is episode 3, right? This is the half of the show, the half of the series. So this is not the last time we're gonna see Obi-Wan fight, and probably not the last time we will see him fighting Vader. So don't think that this is it, right? You won't see them again. Hey, Pablo, what's up, man? Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed episode 3. Again, some people were not very satisfied. I liked it. I took it for what it is. Um, to me, it made sense. Archer, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining. How have you been liking Kenobi? We're talking episode 3. Like I said, we're one behind just because statute of limitations. So some people haven't had the chance to see episode 4. So we're talking about episode 3. Now, having covered that, I want to talk about some of the stuff that was mentioned, sort of like Easter eggs on episode 3. And one of them is when Obi-Wan gets help from an Imperial officer. She tells him and Leia about the path. Now, the path, as far as we know on the show, is basically a network of people, of rebels maybe, that's actually helping both Jedi and Force-sensitive children to escape to safe places away from the Empire. Why? Because Jedi are being killed by the Inquisitors, and the Force-sensitive childs are being abducted, and they disappear, right? They don't know what they're doing with them. Um, hey, Greedo and Speedo, what's going on, man? Yes, I agree. Episode 3 again, just with Vader, that made it incredible. But there are some more nuggets of story here. Because what I was saying is, we know what happens to those children, right? In general, Palpatine had basically laboratories all around the galaxy where he would experiment with force sensitive children, and you can try to link that all the way to the last movies, where he's clone and he created Snoke and all of that. So that's I think that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from. But in this specific scene, when Obi-Wan gets taken into a room where these Jedi have gone through and these force-sensitive kids have gone through, he finds carvings on the wall. And one of them is from, he says, Quinlan's alive. Quinlan was here. Now, for those of you who don't know, he's talking about Quinlan Vos, Master Quinlan Vos. Yeah, exactly. I think they are making that bond a lot stronger than we had seen in the movies, right? Now it makes sense why Leia would name her kid Ben, right? Now we know why. Yes, exactly. So that's been a recurring theory, talking about the path now. Um, we know that Grogu, Baby Yoda, was taken from uh, the Jedi Temple during Order 66. and was hidden, right? We don't know by who, we don't know where. So this could definitely be a link to that. You know, somebody helped him out of the temple, and then somebody else took him to other planets to be hidden for a long time. So back to Quinlan Voss. In case you don't know, like I said, he's a Jedi. He's actually friends with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So as you know, Obi-Wan as a Jedi, he was very by the book, right? He was always trying to follow the rules, try to follow the council, try to follow the Jedi way. And Quinlan was more of a maverick. He was basically the flip side of Obi-Wan's coin, right? He was reckless. He was rash, headstrong. Very similar to Anakin in a way. But they became good friends because they were about the same age. So they both they both joined the Jedi Order at the same time. And they went through being younglings and then Padawans, and then they were on missions together, etc. So they're actually really good friends. So this shot here is from the Clone Wars. So Quinlan Voss is an official canon character, and I'm really really hoping that he makes a cameo at least in live action, because that would be awesome. We don't know what happened to him. Now we know he survived Order 66. It was always rumored, but it wasn't official anymore. Like I said, after all the canon changes, from Legends to Disney. But now it seems that he's alive. So they even said, yeah, Quinlan helps out from time to time. So I think that's pretty cool. One thing that was very cool about Quinlan that was also sort of like a very similar to Anakin, like I said, was that he actually falls in love. And he falls in love with Asajj Ventress. If you don't know who Asajj Ventress is, she was basically Dooku's assassin. He was training her in the dark side. She never really became a Sith per se, but she was very damn close. So she was basically Dooku's apprentice at that point. Of course, Dooku betrayed her, and she tried to kill him, and so she went rogue. She basically tried to leave, the dark side. She went to outside of the war. She didn't want to be a part of it anymore, and she had several encounters with Quinlan Voss, and they fell in love. Why? Because I think they were actually very similar. So Quinlan Voss was always very close to the dark side. Again, just because of the way he was, and he wasn't one to follow rules. So Quinlan Voss actually falls to the dark side, and the only thing that brings him back into the light is the death of Asajj Ventress. She basically sacrifices herself to save him. So that act of kindness and that act of love actually brings him back from the dark side. So I always thought that was a very interesting point. There's very few Jedi that have ever managed to do that. And again, I think that he deserves more exploring. We basically lost track of him, after the war, and we didn't know what happened during Order 66, but now we know that he's alive. So that's awesome. I really really like that, and I hope they go further with that on the show. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing him in live action at all. So I want to talk to you guys also about some of the upcoming projects that were announced and confirmed during Celebration a couple weeks back. This that you see here on screen is basically the breakdown of the projects that are coming for Disney or from Disney and for Star Wars. So got quite a bit going on. We already have Obi-Wan Kenobi, of course, happening. Now, there has been heavy rumors in the past couple of days that Obi-Wan Kenobi was already greenlit for season 2. I don't know if that's the case. I haven't seen an official post yet. Maybe some of you have already. Let me know in the comments if that's the case. But I haven't seen an official announcement yet. Now, I don't know that Disney would actually go for a season two, and the only reason, honestly, is money. Ewan McGregor is very expensive, and the show is very expensive as well. It's been very successful, apparently, in terms of numbers for Disney Plus, but again, it is very, very expensive to produce. So I don't know that they could do a second season um, so soon, right? And supposedly when it was first, well, backtracking, when Disney first started with the project, it was actually gonna be a movie, right? Just one movie, like a Star Wars story, right? And then they decided to make it a TV show, and now, like I said, it sounds like they're deciding to expand on what they had said, because it was always supposed to be just one season for the show, 6 episodes, done deal, and move on to next things. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, that there is a second season because of the success, but again, the show is just not cheap. Um, hey, welcome, Fernando. How's it going, man? Thanks for joining. So, the next things that we already sort of have is Mandalorian, and we know the Mandalorian season 3 is returning uh, next year in February, I believe. So they're pushing it to next year. Um, Bo-Katan seems to, be returning. The armor is going to be returning, and I think they're going to have bigger roles in the story. So that's coming for sure. We also have Rangers of the Republic, supposedly still being worked on. I don't think there's been an official date yet, because that was rumored to be the show about Cara Dune, Gina Carano's character in The Mandalorian. And if you remember a couple years back, there was a lot of uh, I guess there was a lot of mistrust and bad blood between Gina Carano and Disney, and everybody kept saying that he was, you know, that she was fired, but then some people said no, and so we don't know. She might still show up, but I think that pushed that project. Pause for dramatic effect. Okay, so the other show that's taking place around that same timeline is Ahsoka. Now, we saw Ahsoka in The Mandalorian the last time. I'm sorry, we saw her in the Book of Boba Fett with Grogu, with Luke, and she's kind of doing her own thing in her show, which supposedly is gonna focus on her trying to find Ezra Bridger, right? The character from Rebels. If you remember, at the end of Rebels, he basically disappears. He doesn't die. Nobody knows what happens. So it looks like she's gonna be the one looking for him, with the help of course, some other known characters like Sabine Wren, uh, probably the Mandalorian at this point. So that one's gonna be kind of interesting. Then we have Andor, and we had some new glimpses at the TV show um, during celebration, and they did show a new trailer. So um, that's him, and that's the actress who portrays um, the leader of the rebellion, which is the senator from Chandrila. And so it looks like it's gonna cover, the early stages of the rebellion, right? Uh, we saw him in Rogue One, and there he kept saying, like, you don't know what I've done for this rebellion, right? You don't know what I have to sacrifice. You don't know what this rebellion has done to me. So I think we're gonna see a lot more of that, which is kind of cool. It is a little bit of the like dark side of the rebellion, right? All the bad stuff they had to do in order to do some good against the Empire. So we have that also coming. Uh, we got another season of Visions, which is the anime style shorts all put together. So that's gonna look really nice. We have a Lando show coming, and it's supposed to be the version of the young Lando, right? The one played by Danny Glover, on the same way he did it on Han Solo movie. The Acolyte, that's supposed to be about a dark side apprentice, and we still don't know much about it. A droid story, again, they this is also an animated project, which is gonna look really good. Then we have Willow, which is not Star Wars, but it is Lucasfilm related, so that's why they announced it. Um, and they also, I think the next thing that's coming up after Obi-Wan is actually the Bad Batch season 2, and we got a trailer on that one, um, which we can go ahead and check it out. So this is the teaser trailer that was shown at Celebration.
Freedom. You can have a future.
So they look different, of course, more colorful,
Isn't that
more
what you're
individualized.
We're already free.
And we got the
Clearly,
Empire
you're
looking
not
more
paying
and more like the
attention to
Empire,
what's
of course.
happening out there.
We got Kamino's burning.
It is
Then we
time
have,
for a
looks like we're gonna have a
new
very
era.
nice cameo by Tuck. So it's interesting all of the plot
There are others out there who need our help.
about them taking on the route while trying to run away from the Empire.
We'll take all the allies we can get.
I wouldn't be surprised if they said
Let's go.
as you saw, we are going to see some more Jedi action.
Let's get to
So
work.
that's going to be pretty good. Because I thought that was a little bit lacking on season 1, right? Start off with some Jedi and then you never really saw it again. But I wanted to show you something here. Right there. So you notice that armor? That is actually Clone Commander Cody. Who used to be the clone commander that served with Obi-Wan, of course. So I think it's pretty cool to see that they're gonna be bringing him in. Now, if you notice, he is actually helping. He's actually helping the clone trooper from Clone Force 99 that went Imperial. So, which is Crosshair. So, is Cody on the side of the Empire then? More than likely, yes, because why wouldn't he be? He still had his chip, his control chip inside his head, and he would obviously go into the Empire like the rest of the clone troopers did. But it is cool to see him still wearing his armor, so his distinctive armor. So I'm looking forward to that. No, I wish. That sounds good right about now. And so this is, I think it's gonna be a good show. Season 1 was hit and miss for me. It had some really good moments that I really really enjoyed, and some of them that were just, not as great. And overall, I didn't know where they're going with the story. So I'm hoping that for this season, they got a better or more clear path. And again, it seems like we're gonna be seeing some more Jedi. So it looks like the return of this Wookiee Padawan that actually came out during Clone Wars. Hey, what's going on, Toy Militia? How's it going, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you stopping by. And so yeah, so again, we're probably gonna see a little bit more lightsaber action during the show, which is all okay by me. Definitely helps. And the how do you call it? I think the show still needs to find this its legs, so to speak. It still has to find its identity. Again, it looks really good. It's improved a lot. After the Clone Wars, the animation is really really polished. It's just the story is still a little bit not great in my opinion, but season 2 looks to be very promising. So for sure, we're gonna be checking that out. We're gonna be talking about it, doing reviews, etc. And speaking of reviews, I wanted to give you, I guess, a reminder. In today's video, the one I dropped earlier today about Celebration, I'll show you where I bought this guy. I don't know if you can see it. That's the Emperor from 1983. Now, what's special about this particular version is that it's a what's called a tri-logo, because it has 3 different logos in 3 different languages. Got English, Spanish, and French. And so this was the card that was distributed in Europe. So I did not have one of these, in my collection. So very, very happy to have it now. That came home from Celebration all the way down to the bunker. Yeah, man. So Celebration was like an overload to the senses. So you really, really had to have planned out what you were doing, what you were hunting down, right? In terms of collectibles. I didn't. I knew of the Hasbro ones and I knew about the Sideshow ones, but I didn't know about all of them. What I'm trying to say is that Mattel was there with a small booth, and they were promoting their Star Wars, starships, new line, right? Because if you know, the old line went away, and so they're replacing it with the ones that are coming out right now in the market. And let me show you real quick what I'm talking about. So that's a picture from Mattel's booth. So these are the new ships that are, some of them are out already and some of them are going to come out. This is the new packaging at the bottom. And they're a little bit bigger of the previous versions. But what I didn't realize is that there's 2 Razor Crests here, right? And I didn't pay enough attention to see that one of them was a chase variant. I believe it's more damage and different weathering. But they were actually selling it there at the booth. And I didn't realize until later on that day that I came back around. And of course, they were sold out. And not only were they sold out for the day, they were sold out for the show. They sold every Razor Crest chase that they had brought into the show. So I was kicking myself in the head about that because, again, I was there early on day 1. So I could have easily picked them all up. But again, didn't pay attention. I should have done my due diligence before going to the convention and trying to find out all of the exclusives that were there. It's just that, like I said, when you're there, it's just, there's a ton of people, there's a ton of stuff everywhere, there's music, there's cosplay, there's just a bomb, to your senses. So you're not thinking straight, if that makes any sense. Hey Archer, welcome back. Yeah, I actually stopped by to say hello to, well, technically I said hello there to Aaron Waller's stream. Guys, if you don't know, Aaron Waller over at Nerdist has a Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show watch party every Wednesday around this time. So I don't blame you if you don't want to stop by here at the High Ground and go check that out. He's pretty good. He's pretty knowledgeable about it. So, I have thought about it a lot of times, to be honest with you, and I feel like correct, Nerdgenic. My apologies. Aaron Waller's channel is called Nerdgenic. It's not just his channel. He collaborates with more people. But again, go check it out. Nerdgenic. Really, really good content. Aaron Waller handles basically all the superhero stuff, and so he does an excellent job, doing the research. So going back to your question, I'm actually getting to the point where I'm too old to care, how I look in cosplay. When I was younger, I don't know, I guess too ashamed or too shy to do it. But I'm getting old, and I'm getting to the point that I don't care. If I just kind of want to enjoy it, I just kind of want to experiment it. So yeah, I think I will cosplay at some point. I don't know what. I would love to say that I am gonna get custom, Mandalorian armor like from the Mando Mercs, but it's just a very involved process. Expensive, of course, but it more than anything to me is the I don't have the patience. I am not a patient man when it comes to that stuff. I would probably get fed up, building my first knee pad, and then I'd say, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. So I'll never complete my cosplay. So it might end up being just something simple, something that I can, maybe modify. That's something that's off the shelves that I can modify. I don't know. But yes, so that is definitely something that I want to try out. Oh, no way. We were just talking about Quinlan Voss earlier regarding, episode 3 of Kenobi when he finds the writing on the wall. That's interesting, man. I got to check that out. Do you have pictures on your Instagram of that? Then if not, you should post some. I'll check it out. So yeah, like I said, best advice I could give you if you're going to a convention as big as this, just kind of have a game plan, and do your research before going, and just make sure that you know everything that's gonna be there. Because again, like me, I could have gotten all those starships that I wanted, from the first 20 minutes that I was into the convention. The other thing that I picked up, and I briefly showed you last time, but I talk about in the video, is the Kotobukiya Boba Fett prototype armor. So it's the white armor. So I'll be cracking that open hopefully soon and filming a video about the unboxing and review. So be on the lookout for that. So, yeah, Archer, so send me a link. I want to check that out. Okay, so let's... one other thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of the upcoming project that it's not on that list that I showed you is a project from Dave Filoni. Of course, Dave Filoni does everything now. That's called Tales of the Jedi. Now, it's not the Tales of the Jedi as the comic book series. It's a different kind of Tales of the Jedi. They're basically animated shorts that are gonna be covering some of the stories that are maybe not so important to the Star Wars lore or to the Star Wars story, but how do you call it? But it's still gonna be some of the covering some of the things that we never saw and we sort of wanted to see. And a good example is this guy right here. So that's a picture that I took when I was in the panel with Dave Filoni explaining what was going to happen. So this that you see on screen is actually Count Dooku as a Jedi. So that's his version when he was a little bit younger, and that's his version as full-fledged Jedi Master. Now, that story is going to be pretty good because it's going to involve, of course, his Padawan, which is Qui-Gon Jinn. So we're going to see sort of like a parallel of how, like in episode 1, Qui-Gon Jinn is the master, Obi-Wan Kenobi is the apprentice. So we're going to see the same thing with Count Dooku and Qui-Gon. One very exciting piece of information is that Liam Neeson is actually coming back to make the voice of Qui-Gon, which is going to be awesome. But Dave Filoni being, the awesome Dave Filoni, when there were scenes that needed to show an even younger Qui-Gon Jinn, they actually used the voice of his son, of Liam Neeson's son. So I think that's, that's awesome. That's just one of those things that makes me happy about uh, the way they're handling this kind of content, right? So they showed the first short regarding the Tales of the Jedi, and it was about Ahsoka. It's actually the story of baby Ahsoka. They showed the day that she was born in her village of the Togruta. They showed her dad and her mom, and the story focuses a little bit more on the mom. So it was pretty cool to see, right? It's one of those things that she was born, she had a family, but it's before she was discovered by Plo Koon. So it's like her first year of life. So again, it's one of those things that we sort of know what happened, but we haven't actually seen it. And I think this show is gonna fill that gap really good in that sense. So I'm looking forward to that. So Archer, I'm gonna share those if you don't mind. Since we were on the topic of Quinlan Vos earlier this episode. Let me just pull them up here. So my man, Hey Archer, apparently cosplayed as Quinlan Vos a little while back. And check this guy out. So that's what he looks in the comic books. That's my man Archer in these pictures over here. And it seems that, he's following the some of the look, with the blade of the Republic comic books when Quinlan Vos was, dabbling in the dark side. So that's pretty good, man. That's actually, I wouldn't mind doing something like that. It's fairly simple, I guess, in complexity, but it looks really good. So that might be something that I think about. So let's do a little bit of housekeeping. We got about 13 minutes left on this stream. So let's hop over to the channel, and I wanted to show you and see if I can show you. Pause for effect. We got a new video today about, again, it's about Celebration, and so if you guys get a chance to check it out, I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, if you know of anybody you think would enjoy the content, please go ahead and share the channel with them. I have this goal of reaching 500 subscribers before the end of this year, and I think we're on a good track to do that. Right? I mean, he did a good job, right? He looks pretty good. Hey, I mean, I think it looks just fine, man. You'll be surprised at what people, do to get a lightsaber look, right? Like that, you don't have to buy the $300 one to make it look good. So I think you did a pretty, good job, honestly. Hey, we got my man Eben, who runs the Spice Runners Lounge. Guys, if you haven't, go ahead and check out his channel, Spice Runners Lounge. They do awesome lives every Friday. He has a really nice group of collectors that talk about some of the statues, some of the high-end pieces regarding Star Wars collecting. And my man Eben, he runs the show and the channel for that matter. And awesome dude. I was privileged enough to meet him during Celebration. Again, we had a blast. He's just really cool. He is actually on the video today that I dropped today. At the end, so make sure you stay at the end to get a glimpse of our selfie together. No, man, anytime. Seriously, like I said, like I told you earlier, it was meeting you in person was definitely a highlight of Celebration. So appreciate you hanging out, and thank you for checking out the video today. So guys, if you haven't, go ahead and check him out. Like I said, on YouTube. Let me pull it up real quick, and his channel is this one right here, Spice Runners Lounge. Make sure you guys check him out, subscribe. He just put one of them, I guess, of the members of the Spice Runners just put a helmet comparison of 2 Clone Trooper helmets. Really awesome stuff. Evan did a review of the Pyro helmet for the Darth Vader, burned out helmet. So, and again, talk about lightsabers, talk about statues, art, everything and anything like Star Wars related that's like high grade. These guys talk about it. So make sure you check them out. And I also want to shout out, since I talked about him, let me find it real quick. So this is, this is Aaron Waller's channel, and his channel is called Nerdgenic. This right here that you see on the thumbnail, that is Aaron Waller, in case you don't know him. And he does, like I said, he does watch parties. He just finished one of them, so you can join him every Wednesday. Like I said, I believe it's around 7:30 p.m. I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that. But you can always subscribe and enable notifications for his channel, and it will let you know when those are happening. He does a really good job about it, so he's been pretty consistent. Yeah, I think so too, man. When he came out with that name, I was like, dang it, why didn't I think of that? Seriously. Then again, it would be, like the lonely Spice Runner for me, for my show. But he actually has, a lounge to fill up, with people. So his is it's aptly named. Like, it makes sense for him to be called that. Yes, sir. Yeah, Darth Angel's a good dude, man. He's a very nice guy, and of course a Star Wars fan. So yeah, guys, like I said, go ahead and check these guys out. And the last shout out for tonight, let's see. Oh, it's right here. One of my favorites, of course. My man, Hey Archer. You've seen him right now in the chat. Amazing guy overall. Great YouTuber. He has a very unique style, and he has a couple of channels. As a matter of fact, this one that you're looking at right now is Hey Archer, and that is his toy hunting channel. He also has another channel called Nerd Affiliated, which is also in my favorites, as you can see. That's evidence there. I do watch these guys. Nerd Affiliated, and that's his main channel. He does a lot of lives, he does podcasting, he does reviews, a lot of good stuff. So go ahead and drop him a subscribe. Hey, speak of the devil, right? Hey, Aaron, thank you so much for stopping by, man. Yes, I am, and nothing but the best, man. I was just telling everybody here in the chat that they should definitely go check out your channel and your reviews, and that you actually have a watch party for Kenobi every Wednesday, right? So again, if they want to not come to this stream and go watch that, by all means, it's fun stuff, and they won't be disappointed. So thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it, man, because I know you just did one of those like a few minutes ago. So thank you for hanging out. Guys, if you wouldn't mind, check out my Instagram. I just reached 600 followers today, and I thank you so much for that. And again, if you know of anybody that you think would enjoy the content, send it my way. Hopefully they'll enjoy it, and they'll be interested, and they'll want to stick around. So there's my Instagram. That's this one right here, general.kenobis.bunker. So follow me if you don't yet. I'd appreciate it. I tend to post there a lot more frequently. Since I have not reached 500 subscribers on YouTube, I don't have a little community tab, so I can't do the individual posts, for everybody to see on the channel. Working on it, like I said, I have the goal of getting 500 subscribers before the end of the year, and I think we're well on track for that. So hopefully, by then I'll have a little community tab. We can make posts and things like that. But for now, we're doing them on Instagram. But I would also greatly appreciate it if you go check me out on TikTok, where I think I showed you guys on last time. I sort of went viral. I kind of, yeah, I can say I went viral on one of my videos from Celebration. Right now it's got 1.2 million views. Insane, right? I don't know what happened. But so my subscribers there, or my followers there, have been increasing quite a bit, and I would appreciate it if you go follow me there if you haven't yet. TikTok is right there on screen. It's general_Kenobis_bunker, and please subscribe to that, because I think at some point, hopefully during this year, I think I might actually be able to monetize TikTok, if that makes any sense. That was never the goal, and I've always been straight with you that I just do this for fun. But I feel now that I got kind of a real shot at doing that. So if you haven't, I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe there to my TikTok. And again, share it with anybody you think would enjoy the content. And we do put up a lot of content regarding, the toy hunts, some of the toys that I have, some of the action figures that I found. So obviously I've been posting a lot for Celebration. And oh yeah, man, not a problem. I appreciate you, Aaron. You've always been a cool dude with me, and you've always been supportive of the channel, and that means a lot to me. And I really enjoy your content. So like I said, Aaron, guys, again, he's very knowledgeable about everything and anything superheroes, honestly. And he does a really good job with the Kenobi show as well. So make sure you check him out. What was I saying? Yes, I got 3 minutes to fill. What was I saying? Anyway, just to recap, new video dropped today about Celebration. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys go check it out, because it's a special one for me. It took me forever to edit because I kept putting stuff in, taking stuff out. And I was trying to make it enjoyable, yet I didn't want to cut out a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happened, and I wanted to leave everything in there, but at the end of the day, it was just too much. As it is, it's like 26 minutes long, and I'm sorry about that. But I think it's a watchable 26 minutes. I think it was gonna end up being a lot longer than that, but I managed to cut down on it. So please go ahead and check that out. I have a few pending hunts that I need to upload. We've actually just found the Boba Fett from Droids a few days ago, and we got some reviews coming up. Like I said, we're gonna be taking that guy out of the box, the white armor Boba Fett from Kotobukiya. We're doing a quick review on that, so that should be dropping pretty soon. And again, guys, TikTok, please, because yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think I'm up to like 4,000 followers, which again, 2 weeks ago I had 300, which is it's crazy. And so well, we can start wrapping up. Guys, thank you so much. Again, I always appreciate that you take time from your day to join me here in the bunker and we talk about Star Wars, right? I'm always thankful that you guys show up. This is the first time we've done it, week to week. So I did one last Wednesday. This is the first Wednesday, that I've done it in a week period. It's always end up being 2 weeks. So I'm going to try and keep the schedule. We'll see how that goes. Work, life, everything gets in the way sometimes, but I'm going to try to keep it to a weekly meet. And luckily, like I said, there's this little show called Obi-Wan that gives us a lot to talk about every week. So just so you know, next week we'll meet back here in the bunker we'll talk about episode 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I just saw, like I said, like 2 hours ago, and it's a good one. It's got some really good stuff. There's some layers to peel, and we'll talk about some of the stuff that, like I said, it's just not quite right for me. But anyway, guys, we are right at the hour mark. Thank you once again for joining me. Very much appreciated. Remember, go ahead, check out the channel, like, comment, subscribe on the videos. Thank you so much if you already subscribed. Please share, and TikTok. We'll see you, man. Thank you so much again, and may the force be with you.